To the world, joy to the world. Um, so obviously, shout out to everybody that's in the playoffs today. There's gonna be a lot of games. Um, so yeah, um, I already did my NBA playoff bracket, so I don't necessarily need to tell you who wins. I may have gotten a couple of teams wrong. I clearly thought that the Wizards was gonna face the the Nets, and it was gonna be the Celtics versus the Sixers, but it got crossed up. You know what I'm saying? So not really, but So yeah, man, just you know, uh, just here to congratulate and wish everybody good luck. Wizards and Sixers, Knicks and Hawks, Suns and Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole 9 yards. And Jazz and the Grizzlies as well. Uh, most of these games are going into overtime, which is pretty weird. I think I think game one, there was a few games that ended in blowouts. There was a few games that ended in overtime. But I mean, it's good for the league. As long as the referees, we've seen a lot of calls that didn't go James Harden's way. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of James Harden, that offense is just sad to watch. To be honest with you, um, I don't think people understand. Um, I don't think people understand how complex the Nets offense is. Right? The ball never moves. It just stays in either three people's hands. No, now obviously the assists. If you look at the assists, you can't tell me that James Harden didn't have 8 or 5. You know what I'm saying? Or Kyrie didn't have 6, or Kevin Durant didn't have. You can't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Because stats don't tell the whole story. You know. But all three of them led their teams in assists, which is odd. You know. But they also scored in double figures as well. Um, so yeah. Um, so I'm just gonna run you down on what I think is gonna happen because I already said I already. If you wanna look at my playoff video prediction, I'll put that in the video description box down below. But I'm just gonna run you down on what I think is going to happen. Now, obviously, the first game is going to be the Wizards and the Philadelphia Sixers. Now, I believe the Wizards are gonna start off pretty hot. They're gonna lead like 18 to like 7 or 20 to 7. You know, and that's when the Sixers are gonna creep up because the Sixers are pretty good against the spread. They could cover the spread. So if they're up like 8 points, 18 points, no, like if they're down by 10 points. No, hold on. They could cover the spread at 60. You know, uh, Wizards they at 40%. So it don't matter how large the league is. The lead is. I think the Sixers can cover the spread. But the Wizards is gonna have a tough time. Both Westbrook and Bill don't play defense. Um, they have Lopez. They have they have Robin Lopez, but he's not really that good. I mean, he could give you a few blocks here and there, but that I mean, if Joel Embiid goes off in this game, it's gonna be the good night Irene. I'll tell you that much. So I expect I expect the war. No, I expect Philly to win game one. I I I mean I picked them. I picked Philly to win the series, but I just didn't go game for game. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Philly to win game one. It wouldn't surprise me if the Wizards take game one. You know what I'm saying? But y'all probably go ballistic over that too. You know what I'm saying? The second game is gonna be a 3 o'clock game, and it's going to be the Suns and the Lakers. There's no question I'm picking the Lakers. There's no question I'm picking the Suns, I should say. I think the Suns is gonna set the tone and send a message. Now, usually LeBron James are very, 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 very good at game ones. Like he's never been bounced out the first round. It's usually the second round or the finals, or if not that, he'll go all the way to the finals and lose there. You know what I'm saying? But he's probably like 9-0 when it comes to the first game series. You know, he never got out the first round. You know what I'm saying? With whether he was in the West or the East, he never got out of the first round. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that the Suns is going to sweep the Lakers. I just think that it's gonna be. I think a lot of Lakers fans are underestimating the Suns. You know what I'm saying? But look for Devin Booker, look for Aiton, look for CP3 to send a message. And send a clear message that we're not scared of you. And the Suns should take that approach. Nobody's scared of the Lakers. Who the hell is scared of the Lakers? They got two 6-footers that play soft. They got LeBron James who's a good ass actor. We don't know if he's injured. We don't know if he's healthy. Like, I mean, I tell people this all the time. The Lakers are not repeating. You know, I just have an epiphany that they not they're not repeating for my reasons. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And then we got a few 7 o'clock games. We got the Knicks and Hawks. Now, obviously, the Knicks have beaten the Hawks all 3 times. They could have faced a fourth time, but obviously, you only get to face the opponents or your schedule 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So we actually swept the series 3-0. So now this is where I think it's gonna get tricky. Because we all seen this before. When teams sweep other teams in the regular season, it comes back to haunt us in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like it always goes to that. It always goes to that. Notion that damn. At least we could have kept it competitive. You know what I'm saying? The I think the only thing that the Knicks lack is offensive efficiency. We don't have enough firepower. You know, and Trey Young is good as his own. I mean, Trey Young is good as advertised. Like he can go out there and score 47 points. You know what I'm saying? So he can score out well. He does have some playmakers around him. So I mean, and Knicks always keep things close. They never want to separate. As soon as they have a lead, the Hawks can like go up by 10 points right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that we have to take care of. You know what I'm saying? We have to take care of. But I will say that the Knicks will win the series because we got 3 home games. So we should go 3-0 in this series. There's no question. There's no doubt in my mind that we can't lose any of these home games. Now, obviously, when we do go 3-0, we will lose one of these games when they go back home. You know what I'm saying? When the Hawks go back home, I expect a different turnaround. I expect the Hawks to, play desperation mode. You know what I'm saying? So I think, when we finish our 3-game winning streak against them, I expect the Hawks to win at least one game. And then after that, will, after that, then they'll probably bounce back again and beat us again. And then obviously it's going to be like 3-2. And, we're going to finish the deal back home. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be in 6. The Knicks is going to finish them out in 6. I wish it was 4, but, the Hawks is going to get 2 games out of this. So, yeah. And then after that, it's going to be the Grizzlies and the Jazz. And I expect the Jazz to... I expect the Grizzlies to win this game. A lot of people think that the Jazz is going to win it. And the Jazz might be the sorriest 1 seed ever. Like how many times the Jazz was the number 1 seed when they had John Stockton and Karl Malone. And they always got mollywopped against the Bulls. Or the Suns. When is the last time the Suns has been the number 2 seed? You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people might think, well, these are the most, like the Suns might be the sorriest 2 seed. The Jazz might be the sorriest 1 seed, because y'all remember back when the All-Star draft, nobody picked Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron James cracked jokes at him saying that, like, when you playing 2K, like, what team do you actually pick? The Jazz is the last team on their minds to pick, or anybody if you playing 2K, unless you're playing like super teams or you playing like legends and stuff like that. Nobody wants to pick, the Utah Jazz. You know what I'm saying? They always pick last. Like they're always that last kid in school that you always pick, in your team. So little jab at the Jazz, but it is what it is. But I expect the Grizzlies to win game 1, and I expect them to only win game 1. I think they're gonna just win 1 game, and the Jazz is gonna wake up and just cruise, to the finish line. So yeah. So if I'm missing any games, y'all can let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.